Hi everyone, it's Emma, and welcome to my 20K Q&A. I can't believe it was less than a year ago that I was doing my 10K Q&A when I first realized that that conveniently rhymes and was so happy about it. And now I have hit 20,000 subscribers, and so I'm going to be doing another Q&A. I am currently just a tiny bit sick, so I'm drinking some tea while I film this to combat the tiredness and the sore throat and the fact that I really just want to crawl into bed. First of all, if you are new here, welcome! Welcome to my new friends. These are some of my favorite videos to film. They are also some of the videos that I put the most effort into. It takes me a long time to plan and edit and film these videos because I just love making them and I love talking to you guys and I love answering your questions. So since I have many questions, I'm just going to jump in. That's enough intro. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Let's talk. What is your favorite song from each Taylor Swift album? If you've been around for a little while, you know that I have a really hard time picking favorites because I'll pick one favorite and then I'll be like, oh, maybe that's not true. Maybe it's this other song and this other song and this other one and this other one. But I really tried to pick a favorite for each album. So the self-titled album Taylor Swift, I'm going to say that my favorite is Our Song. The song is just really nostalgic for me. I remember making music videos with my friends, listening to it at like 2 in the morning, at sleepovers with my friends. So whenever I listen to it, it just brings back like warm, fuzzy, nostalgic feelings. Then we've got Fearless, and my favorite song on Fearless is also for nostalgic reasons. It is Hey Stephen. The first boy that I ever had a crush on's name was Steven, and it was spelled the same way that she spells Steven, which is not like the most popular version of the spelling, even though I didn't even relate to the lyrics that much. Just the fact that the name was the same was enough for me. And then we have Speak Now. I went through a period where it was all I listened to and I loved every song, so picking a favorite for this album was so impossible. But I will say that the one that like when I listen to it now I think I love the most is The Story of Us. My favorite on the album Red is definitely, absolutely, this one wasn't even a hard choice, All Too Well. I remember when this song came out crying to it, and I had never been in a relationship, so it's not like I related to it. I just remember hearing it and thinking that it was such beautiful writing, and I just remember loving it, and it has continued to be a favorite of mine to this day. 1989, I don't know if I really have like a clear favorite for this one, maybe just because this whole album was so good, but I do really love Clean. I think that's my current favorite. Because she played it at my concert in the rain, and it was such a magical moment, and I cried. And finally, we have Reputation. This one, my favorite changes a lot, but current favorite is Dancing with Our Hands Tied. I love this song. I remember liking it in the beginning, but now it's just become my favorite, and I also loved it live. It was great. Off to a good start. I've been filming for 15 minutes and I have only answered one question. What was your dream job as a child? I think I've mentioned this in a video before. I know that you guys know that I was a ballet dancer growing up. Until I was about 15, my goal in life was to be a professional ballet dancer. I started taking ballet when I was 3. When I was 9, I think, I stopped for a little bit, and then I got involved with theater, and I did theater for a while, and then I went back to ballet. And when I went back to ballet, I was really passionate about it. I was really driven. I had just gotten my black belt in karate, and I even quit karate to be able to take more ballet classes. And then when I was 15, I went on a college visit with my brother Peyton. He was visiting colleges, and I got to see what a college experience would look like. Even though I didn't end up going to college and having like a regular college experience, it still made me realize that I wasn't willing to like sacrifice all that stuff, that I wanted to have a social life and a dating life and have fun and not devote all of my life to ballet, which is kind of what is required if you want to be a professional. What is your best memory as a YouTuber? Literally any of the times that I have met you guys. I've had some incredible interactions meeting you guys by happenstance at book events in New York City, and that's kind of why I am a YouTuber, is to make connections with people. However, recently I was recognized at the bookstore that I used to work at, aka the bookstore I've been going to since I was like 3 years old. And that was kind of an incredible experience because I was at a book event, 2 different people both recognized me and came up and said that they loved my videos, they loved my channel. They were also like, what the heck are you doing in this tiny small town? But that was pretty special because it was my home. Like, it's a place where I have so many memories, and to meet some of you guys there was just very, very heartwarming to me. Like, I went home that night and I was so happy and excited. If you ever publish a book, what quote would you put at the start of a book and why? I think it depends on what the book is that I'm publishing. If you didn't know, I'm currently writing a poetry collection, and I actually have a quote at the top of that document that I have saved, where I have all the poems that are more finished. And I can't read it to you guys yet because it is from A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahira Mafi, which doesn't come out until October 18th. But I can tell you that it is on the very last page, and it just kind of captures like the overall theme of my poetry book. So I put it at the top of my document to like keep me on track as to what poems I want to put in there. I write so much, it would be easy to just have a 600-page long poetry book but not have it be very cohesive. So the quote on the last page of this helps me keep on track, so that's why it's there. Top 5 K-pop soloists or groups. Okay, this is going off of music taste, not like the people that I stand, because NCT, I don't even know their names, all of their names. So, number 1, BTS, as always. Number 2, J-Park, also as always. 3, Winner, yes. 4, Red Velvet. And 5, NCT, NCTU, and NCT 127. That's kind of the K-pop music that I have been listening to the most recently. If you ever changed your name, what would you change it to? Honestly, I do not foresee that I will ever change my name. I've always loved my name. Emma just fits me very well. I feel like it fits my personality, it fits my looks. So I've always really loved my name. My middle name is Margaret, and I could imagine going by Margaret. So I guess I could imagine going by my middle name, but I don't really like the nicknames for Margaret, like Marge or Maggie. So if I had to change my name, I guess I would change it to some kind of flower name. Like marigold or rose or like lavender. What element would you like to be able to bend? As in the elements from Avatar: The Last Airbender, aka probably my all-time favorite show ever. Ages ago, I took a test that tells you like what bender you would be, and it was based on your hand shape, like the shape of your palm. I got firebender, which is what I would choose anyways. I want to be that like cool, powerful firebender girl who's not a psycho and not evil. That we have never gotten in Avatar or Korra. Unless I'm forgetting a character in Korra, we've literally never gotten a cool firebender girl who is not evil. And I would like to fill that spot. Thank you very much. I also just feel like I relate to fire the most out of all the elements because it's life and it's like dangerous. Would you ever write a little poetry book for us? Yup. I'm writing one right now. I love it so much. I cannot wait for the day that you guys get to read it. I'm so proud of it. I'm 100% certain that I'm going to finish it and try to publish it, which has never happened before with any of my other works in progress. So I just can't wait for the day that I get it to you lovelies for you to read. How do you determine what color people are, and do the different colors have meanings to you? I am a synesthete, and you guys often ask me questions about the specific part of that is associating colors to people that I know. To be honest, it is a really hard thing to explain. It's very much an instinct thing. It is not, oh, you're this way and so you're purple. It's more like I'm just looking and their color is already there, so I see that they are that color to me. If that makes sense at all, I'm not really sure. And yes, the colors definitely mean different things to me. People can change their color depending on how I view them, but it's not so clear as like, if you're purple, that means you're this to me. So I could know two people and think that they are both purple to me and have it mean different things. What's your favorite video of your channel? My favorite is usually like whatever my current passion project is. The being an introvert video that I made. I loved making that video. I was so excited to make it. So that is definitely one of my favorite videos because it's like the most recent one that I made that I really loved and was proud of. I often go back to my 20 things that I learned in 20 years video. If I need an encouragement, I will often go back and watch that video myself because it reminds me that I'm still growing, I'm still learning. Even just since 6 months ago, I've changed so much. It also inspires me to remember the types of videos that I love making. Will you be at BookCon 2019? Of course I will be! By that time, I'm sure I will be living in New York City, so I can't see why I would not go to BookCon unless like some drastic change happens in my life. I will be there and I'm so excited for another year. This will be my 3rd time! That's so exciting! I'm not like a total newbie anymore. Have you ever struggled with anxiety, and if so, how did you cope? I think a lot of you guys don't know this about me because I am currently different than I was when I was younger, but as a teenager I struggled with severe anxiety. I had panic attacks on a regular basis. It was a regular part of my life and it was an incredibly difficult thing to deal with. I'm really only now getting to the point where it is not so much a struggle for me anymore. If I'm feeling anxious, it is a sign that something is off in my life or off in my mental health. But on a daily basis, I don't so much struggle with anxiety anymore. And it is one of my most highly requested videos to make a video talking about how I have dealt with anxiety and like tips on handling anxiety. So that is an entire other video. But I can say really quickly, one thing that was really helpful for me that I remember was to list like simple truths to myself. For example, my name is Emma Green. I'm 20 years old. It is August 2018. I make YouTube videos. I love making YouTube videos. I live in blank state. Those kind of fact truths, to kind of list those out and like recite them to myself. And while I'm doing that, if you're wearing jeans or if you have rings on your fingers or a bracelet on your hand, find something that has a texture, feel that texture and focus in on feeling that texture. It helps to narrow your mind to a simple focus. One of the things about anxiety is that it's like your mind is trying to solve all problems all at once and creating problems for you to be able to solve. So to narrow your focus down to something simple like that, like my name is Emma Green. That is a truth. That is my name. I am Emma Green. There is nothing that can be fixed or changed about that. It is just a fact. That was always a big help to me. However, that is only like an in the moment help. It's not a long-term fix. So like I said, I will be making a video about it in the future. Favorite book that you have read this year? Oops, that's the back. A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahira Mafi. I'm so excited for this book to come out so that I can reread it and make a review because I loved this book so much. Tahira Mafi is my favorite author, so it's no surprise that I loved her book, but I think because this one is a contemporary, I just was able to more clearly see how I relate so much to the way that Tahira writes her characters. Like, I relate to all of her main characters, but especially the girl in this one. The way that she thought and the feelings that she had were just so familiar to me. It was great to see that, and to see that in a girl whose life and religion and circumstances are so completely different from anything that I've ever experienced. What K-dramas have you watched since your last video? If you haven't seen it, I made a very long, extensive K-drama guide of every K-drama that I have ever seen. I will link it down below if you want to watch it. I was so surprised by how many of you made it all the way to the end of that video. Since then, I actually have not watched many K-drama. I have recently been watching Chinese dramas that are on Netflix, and I'm so addicted. The first one that I watched is called Meteor Garden. It's a remake of an old Chinese drama. It is also a Chinese version of the K-drama Boys Over Flowers, which is based on the Japanese manga Boys Over Flowers. And they are currently airing a new one. It's on Netflix. It's called Meteor Garden. I love it so much. It's like so dramatic. I'm just trash for it. It's so addictive. But my favorite one that I have seen is called A Love So Beautiful. This has made its way into like my top ever dramas watched. I think it might be third as far as top 5 dramas. It follows these kids from their first year of high school all the way through till they are like adults with professional jobs. It's so cute. I love the main character. She is such a mess. She is so unapologetically herself. I love the couple. I love the side couple. I love the side boy. I will get to that a little bit more later. Ever since I finished it, I've been like in withdrawal because I miss those characters and I miss the whole feel of it. If you could go back and tell your 1 year ago self one thing, and if you could go forward and tell your 1 year from now self one thing, what would it be? This question is from my mom, by the way. If I could go back and tell my 1 year ago self one thing, I would tell her that she is going to change so much this year. She is going to grow and heal more than she ever imagined that she would. And not to be scared of that, because despite the growing pains, a year from now, she will love who she is. She will be so thankful and so proud of how far she has come. Now I'm getting emotional. And if I could tell my 1 year from now self one thing, I think it would be not to forget this time of my life. I hope that when everything is more settled, when I've moved, when I've finished writing my first book, that I won't forget that I actually love change, and change, despite how scary it is when you grow the most. I hope that I don't forget that when my life is a little bit more settled. What's your favorite thing about being Emma Green International Superstar? Obviously, the fact that my brother is Will Green, who asked this question. Honestly, I love being me. I feel like recently I've been in this time where I just like love who I'm becoming, and I'm so excited for my future, and I'm so excited for life. What is an interesting fact about you that is not book related? I had to try and think of one that I had not mentioned before, because I know I've done like random facts about myself before. I'm strangely good at these little puzzle things, metal slidey thing where you have to try and get the numbers in order. I don't know if anyone else played with these when they were a kid, but me and my cousins used to like obsessively play with these, and I have always been so good at it. Like, I can do it so fast. I recently bought one just for like pure nostalgia's sake. If you could jump into any K-drama world, which would it be and who would be your significant other? I want to say W2 worlds, because Lee Jong-suk, that world is kind of scary and violent and like intense, so I don't know if I would want to be in that world. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and not say a K-drama, but say A Love So Beautiful. I would have just loved to be a part of this friend group growing up. Plus, the main boy is not even my favorite. The side boy is my favorite, so I could literally just jump in, take him up, since he had his heart broken like 4 times throughout the series. Current favorite song. Did you really think I was gonna pick one song? No. I think I picked like 5. These are in no particular order. Stay by Post Malone. Live by Billy Martin. Haze by Tessa Violet. Better Now, which is also a Post Malone song, but I'm talking about the one that Troye Sivan did as a Spotify special single cover. And Chosen One by Jay Park. A couple of you asked a variety of the same question, which was some tips on maneuvering life as an introvert, an INFJ, or an HSP. INFJ being my personality type, many of your personality type, HSP being a highly sensitive person, which is just another label type of personality. This is such a big question. I get this question a lot because I am a rare personality type, and a lot of you guys are also the same personality type. Recently, I did a poll on Instagram Instagram to see how many of my followers were INFJs. INFJ being the most, or one of the most, rare Myers-Briggs personality types. It varies from like 0.1% to 0.3% of the population are INFJ. And when I did that poll, literally half the people who voted were INFJs. Think about that in terms of percentages. If we are 0.1% of the planet, and even less than that is women who are INFJs. Until I make an entire video about this, I will just say that my first advice is not to fight yourself. There's a difference between pushing yourself to go outside your comfort zone and to learn to do new things, and disliking the part of you that is shy or sensitive. Me and many of you will never be that life of the party, loudest person in the room personality type that Western culture really values as this is what it looks like to be a healthy person. But I will just say that I have learned, the more that I learn about other cultures, that is not the personality type that is valued everywhere. In fact, in Korea, HSP personality type is the more valued person in terms of like who they want in charge in their culture, who is going to be the successful people who you would want to be friends with in school. So, one, not everywhere values the same types of personality types. And in light of that, your weaknesses are also your strengths. You can be aware of the fact that you don't love being around people the most, and you can be aware of the fact that you are easily overwhelmed by loud noises and by big crowds. Being sensitive also means that you have a greater capacity for compassion and empathy. HSPs, it is just a fact, have more of an ability to be compassionate than people who are not HSPs, because we can literally feel other people's feelings. I cannot tell you the number of times that people have communicated to me the value that my friendship is for things that I literally had disliked about myself, aka being sensitive. So my advice is to learn to walk that balance between push yourself to try new things. Don't stay in your comfort zone. Don't use being an introvert as an excuse to not be around people, not make connections with people. However, know yourself. Needing to be alone is not inherently a negative thing. There is absolutely nothing in your personality type that says that you can't accomplish everything that you want to and have a perfectly happy life. That's just not true, and I encourage you to switch your perspective to know yourself, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and be okay with the way that you are, and still push yourself to try new things and expand your experiences. You're stuck on a deserted island, and only one person can save you. Who do you pick? I wasn't sure if this was supposed to be a literary question or not, so if we're talking literary characters, for some reason, the first person that came to my mind was Ronan Lynch. Maybe this is just because he's like such a tough person. I feel like he could do it, like journey out to some deserted island to save me, but also because I want to be friends with Ronan Lynch. But if we are talking real life, I would pick my dad. There is literally nothing on this planet that could stop my dad from saving me if I was in trouble. Never, ever, ever let me stay in a situation that was bad when he could do something about it. So I would definitely choose my dad because I trust he would come get me, that he would not let anything on this planet keep him from saving his daughter. Favorite winter drink, favorite summer drink. My favorite winter drink is hot apple cider or hot chai, like a chai tea latte. Pretty much anything that is hot and spicy with spices, not like sriracha spicy. And then my favorite summer drink is probably just iced coffee or iced lattes. I love iced coffee. Like, I can drink so much of it. It's bad when I'm in New York because I have so much access to iced coffee. What are some things that you do when you are feeling a little bit down? I hug people. Physical touch is my main love language, so when I'm not feeling bubbly and happy, I often will just go hug like anyone who's around, really, anyone that I love. I'll just like go hug them. I need hugs on a daily basis to like feel happy. However, other than that, I do journal a lot when I'm feeling down. It just helps me get some perspective, and not just like the writing part of journaling, but also the part that is making it pretty and making it aesthetic, like finding flowers and drying them, arranging notes and washi tape and that kind of thing. Making something small but beautiful like that really helps boost my mood. So that's one of the reasons that I journal so much, because it's like a way to keep creating without having to like sit in front of a camera or go out and take pictures when I'm not feeling my best. Would you consider yourself to be a confident person? And advice for someone who does not consider themselves to be a confident person. Yes, I actually do consider myself to be a very confident person. I think a lot of people mistake me for being shy because I'm quiet, but I'm not actually insecure in myself. Like, I actually love myself and my personality and the way that I look, and I'm open to growth and learning and life. So I actually do consider myself a really confident person. I would not change who I am if I could. And as far as advice goes, I can only speak from personal experience. For me, my confidence started with self-forgetfulness. And what I mean by that, we often function as the center of our universe. So you go into any situation thinking, what is everyone in the room thinking about me? Or how are other people perceiving me? It could sound like that means you're aware of others. It's actually me at the center of that focus, that kind of thought. And I think that is kind of what anxiety tells you, that you have to be aware the way people are perceiving you or how people feel about you. When I have had the most success overcoming social anxiety and going into situations that were really overwhelming for me is when I thought less of myself and I tried to focus more on other people. Most people are just as nervous as we are. If my focus instead is just like, how can I find one simple way to love someone else today in this situation? Practicing that actively, I think, is honestly where my confidence started. Of course, I still get nervous and I still struggle with social anxiety and stuff. But yes, I think that is where my confidence started, and it is something that I would advise everyone to try. Just try it out and see what happens. And this is going to be my last question for this Q&A. And it is simply, how are you doing? How are you planning to spend the rest of the summer? And are you happy right now? I'm actually doing really, really well right now. I'm hopeful, that the rest of my summer will be spent moving. Moving to New York has been temporarily postponed. Not that I'm not still doing it, I am still moving to New York, but for circumstances completely outside of my control, I have to wait a little bit. So I'm currently in this like waiting period of I'm not sure when I'm going to be moving, but as soon as I get the word, I will be moving. So other than like that waiting period, I'm really happy right now. One of you recently commented on one of my videos saying that I seem more confident, and I really am feeling that way recently. I just am in this period of my life where I love who I am and I love who I'm becoming, and I've been growing so much and I've been learning so much and I've been so aware of the magic in the world. I've been creating so much. I've been so excited about what I'm creating. So much excitement for my future and for what I want to do in life, who I'm becoming and where my channel is going. And all of that has just made me really thankful and really aware of how happy I am. That is going to be it for this little Q&A. Thank you so much to everybody who sent me questions. I had so many more questions that I wanted to answer. Q&As can only be so long, and I can only talk for so long when I'm sick. Thank you so much, you guys, for 20,000 subscribers. I hope that you are all doing well. I hope you're having a lovely summer. I hope you're having a lovely day or night or afternoon, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, and I will see you in my next video.